Hello everyone. In the last video, we saw how a secret operation called Operation Ajax removed Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Reza and brought the Shah back to power. Now, if you're watching that episode, you might be thinking, okay, the Shah is back. The US got what it wanted. So why didn't the story end there? Actually, this is where the real story begins. Because for the next 26 years, Iran transformed faster than almost any country in the Middle East. Skyscrapers went up, universities expanded, oil money poured in. Iran became America's closest ally in the region. Imagine you are the Shah. Just a few days ago, you were preparing to leave your country. Now suddenly, you are back on the throne. Thanks largely to the success of Operation Ajax, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi returned with much stronger authority than before. But here is something important that often gets left out. Before 1953, the Shah was the constitutional monarch, but now he was increasingly becoming the country's dominant political figure, and the United States was determined to make sure Iran never become unstable again. Why? Because remember, we are still in the Cold War. To Washington, Iran wasn't just another country. It bordered the Soviet Union. It had enormous oil reserves. And it sat at one of the most strategic crossroads in the world. If Iran drifted toward Moscow, the balance of power in the Middle East could change dramatically. So America invested heavily in Iran. Weapons, military trainings, economic assistance, political support. The Shah wasn't just an ally. He became one of America's most important partners in the region. Now here is where things get interesting. When people talk about the Shah, they often focus only on what went wrong. But if we are being fair, a lot also changed for the better. In the 1960s, the Shah launched a series of reforms known as the White Revolution. Despite the name, it wasn't a military revolution. It was a package of reforms designed to modernize Iran from the top down. Reforms redistributed some lands from large landowners to farmers. Millions gained access to education. New schools were built across the country. Healthcare expanded into rural areas. Roads, factories, and infrastructure grew rapidly. Women gained the right to vote. More women entered universities and professional careers. By the 1970s, Tehran looked very different from just 2 decades earlier. Modern office buildings, wide highways, luxury hotels, international businesses. Some even called Iran the Japan of the Middle East. So if you looked only at the economy, things seem to be moving in the right direction. But here is the catch. Modernization isn't just about building roads. It's also about whether people feel they have a voice. And that's where problems begin. Let's imagine something. Suppose your country's economy is growing. But every time someone criticizes the government, they are arrested. Newspapers can't really criticize leaders. Political parties are tightly controlled. People become afraid to speak openly. That's the environment many critics say developed under the Shah. One name comes up again and again: SAVAK. SAVAK was Iran's intelligence and security organization. Its job was to monitor threats to the government. Supporters argued it protected Iran from communist groups and violent extremists. Critics, however, accused it of censorship, surveillance, arbitrary arrests, and torture. Whether you supported a Shah or opposed him, almost everyone knew the name SAVAK. Fear became part of everyday political life. And here is the irony. The Shah believed stronger security would create stability. Instead, it often pushed opposition underground, where frustration quietly grew. Then came another turning point, the oil boom of the 1970s. Oil prices surged after the 1973 Arab-Israeli War and the OPEC oil embargo. Suddenly, Iran's oil revenues exploded. The government launched ambitious development projects, new airports, industrial complexes, modern cities. On paper, Iran looked like an economic success story. But wealth wasn't equally shared. Inflation rose, housing became expensive. Many rural migrants struggled after moving to the cities. Some people saw incredible prosperity, others felt left behind. Imagine watching luxury hotels being built while you are struggling to afford basic necessities. Economic growth doesn't always feel like progress if you are not benefiting from it. Now, here is a perspective that's easy to miss. For many Iranians, this wasn't about economics or politics, it was about identity. The Shah wanted Iran to become more Western clothes, Western education, Western business, closer ties with Europe and United States. Many urban Iranians welcomed these changes, but others worried that Iran was losing part of its cultural and religious identity. Among the strongest critics was a religious scholar named Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. He argued that Iran wasn't just becoming modern, it was becoming too dependent on foreign influence. Eventually, the Shah forced Khomeini into exile, but exile didn't silence him. His speeches continued to circulate inside Iran on cassette tapes, reaching people across the country. Sometimes removing a critique doesn't remove the criticism, it simply changes how it spreads. Put everything together. The Shah modernized Iran, education expanded, women's rights advanced in important ways, infrastructure improved, the economy grew rapidly. Those achievements mattered, but at the same time, political freedoms narrowed, the secret police created fear, economic inequality remained, and many people believed Iran's government had become too closely tied to foreign powers, especially the United States. That's why the story isn't simply about a good king or a bad king. It is about what happens when rapid modernization moves faster than political participation, and when different parts of society have very different visions of the country's future. By the late 1970s, the pressure had been building for years, and eventually, it exploded. In the next episode, we will witness one of the most significant political upheavals of the 20th century, the Iranian Revolution of 1979. We will see how millions took to the streets, why the Shah fled the country, and how a revolution reshaped not only Iran, but its relationship with the United States for decades to come. I'll see you in the next one.